So we've been roped into following along with this stupid scheme to, like, save the world from God or whatever, but
My apologies.
only
Wrong
because
way.
this one guy that we
She's
particularly
all
want to
set.
kill is also
Are
in
you
on
ready
it,
for
so...
departure?
I think our conscience isn't quite clear yet.
I was gonna say, I mean, there are worse motivations to go on world-saving quests.
I mean... You can kind of get dragged into this for weird reasons, or like you can be the extremely reluctant hero,
I'm counting
but
all of you.
like we're here only because we particularly want to kill one guy who also happens to be the guy who's being made instrumental
Alrighty.
in
Let's
getting
get moving.
the trinkets that will end the world. Like this seems like even for amoral anti-hero, anti-protagonist status, that's kind of pushing it.
Where are we?
The taint clouds. A bottomless sea of poisonous gas.
Okay, I'm gonna let that
Those
one
that
pass
fall
without
and never
comment.
return alive.
This place always gives me the creeps.
So yeah, in place
Those who make a
of
living
the
behind
ocean,
these guys like
we now
myself,
have an endless
into the
expanse
pit
of
hell
poisonous
underground.
clouds and gas.
You can have a
Certainly
cloud
looks
ocean.
ominous.
That one hasn't been done yet. Someone trademarked that.
Anui has come into view.
It's all just the same archetypes and narratives anyway.
I mean, honestly, like, there's a lot of Xenoblade 2 in this game. Like, that's actually a thing they went back to for Xenoblade 2, where they made an actual literal cloud ocean. Like, this entire setting is actually almost reproduced verbatim there.
Let's take King Laticon's letter to Queen Corellia. The sooner the better.
Alright, well, we have made it to Anue. And before we head out from the port, there's a few goodies we should grab.
Sorry, did that say explosive paddle?
Yes, it did. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what that does.
Well, I would imagine that you paddle someone with it, and then they explode.
Close enough. It's a lot less useful than it sounds on account of it being a finisher for Gabari, and well, Gabari has largely water cards, so a fire finisher is a little. That's a Galaxy Brain move.
Yeah. Sometimes you've got to hammer that square peg into that round hole. It's tactically valid.
Anyway, we are hiding in this old man's bush because these NPCs only move when you're a certain distance away from them, and we need to get around the table to get this goodie that he's hiding.
That's... I don't know what that is. That's a design decision.
So, like, the first time I played this section, like, I got stuck behind there, like, for, like, a solid minute trying to figure out why this old man wouldn't get out of my way. Like, I actually thought that I had soft-locked at some point.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Just make it so that if you run into them for a couple seconds, you just phase through them. This is supposed to have been a solved problem for decades, even at this point.
Anyway, welcome to Komo Mai, the city of flowers. They're having a right old celebration here.
Yeah, we just walked into a party.
Sure seem to be
Okay.
enjoying themselves.
Anything in particular
Must be
happening?
the
Like,
festival of the
that
Celestial
lady
Tree.
is just stood completely
gigantic
stationary in one
tree
place,
here.
just
They
carpeting
say its
everything with
flowers
petals.
only blossom once every 30 years.
So we have
The
arrived
people of
in the middle
Niue
of
hold
the
a huge
Festival of the
to
Celestial
celebrate the
Tree,
year it blossoms.
which is held
A timely
because so this
arrival, I'd
there's a
say.
giant tree on this island, and
Yes.
it blooms
This must
once
be-
every 30 or so years, and
think they're
we
having
have
the time of
happened
their
to we
lives.
just simply happen to
No knowledge
have
of
arrived
the
at just the right time.
Ignorance is
Of course
bliss,
we have.
I must say.
I mean, like, if you told me that, but not like when we would arrive before we got here, I would have guessed that we're going to arrive right on time, because when do we ever not? I know how JRPGs work.
Now, that said, if we were to ask around town a little bit, we would find a few interesting things. Like, for starters, this extremely good sword for Callus, but more importantly, we would find out that this is like the second or third time in a row that they've done this ceremony, and the big important tree hasn't bloomed.
Oh, see, that's the catch. You're supposed to do it after it blooms. That's like the whole point of a celebration. You're celebrating a thing that happened. You can't make the thing happen by having the celebration. Otherwise, otherwise we could just have Christmas parties or whatever all the time.
Hold on there! Terribly sorry. I didn't pay you enough money. Here's what I owe you. Thanks again. Come back. We got more game to sell. The monsters you bring in are always top of the line. Right. Curious, are we? She's a hunter living in the mountains. Popped up around 6 months ago. Found herself a home in Waterfall Village. She doesn't talk much. Pretty much keeps to herself. But I can't complain. She's a damn fine hunter. The best there is, I tell you.
Well, she's real good at killing things, apparently.
Honestly, she seems like a pretty obvious future party member, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that one to the list. Oh man, that sounds disturbingly like having literally any fun, and I can't have that.
I mean, for once, Callus is, Callus actually has his mind in the game here. He's like, no, man, we gotta go. Don't have time for fucking cookies, dude. We gotta get to the queen.
Like, man, you can walk and eat.
But you know what you can't do? You can't walk and have some lore.
I guess there's something in that. But, like, more importantly, what is going on with that clock? I'm sorry, I can't with...
That clock is having a moment. But unfortunately, as you saw, the road is blocked by a
Today,
big
we're
old
going to
ceremonial
talk about the
throne,
mysteries of
and
our world.
they are not going to leave until we get ourselves some plot. So sit back and enjoy, because it's time for some lore.
Clouds.
Might as well go and get the
Those
damn
are clouds
cookies.
down below that make up the bottom of the sky. No creature can survive in those clouds, which is one reason they are often said to be the boundary between this life and the next.
Aha. I mean, so far, so Final Fantasy III.
Moving on, here's another tale you may have heard before. It's said there is a kingdom of ice far to the north. Some claim it's so cold there that the air you breathe out, or even your wings, will freeze solid. According to legend,
I
this
don't know, if
frigid
the air
land
you
is
breathe
ruled
out
by
would turn
witches.
solid, then the whole place would
Here's
just
some
be
witches
solid
that
air.
wield
So
dark
I'm
and
gonna go ahead
powerful
and say that's
magic.
probably not true.
Of course, this could just be a fanciful tale told by superstitious sailors. similar to rumors of phantom ships and mermaids luring sailors into darkness.
Would they know what mermaids and sirens are in this setting?
There are so many mysteries
They were like
in our world that
sky
have yet to be
mermaids and
solved.
sky. Look, I told you, it's all just sailing metaphors and imagery. Nothing changes. They just substitute water for clouds, and clouds are water. So you know, checks out. We have to allow it. Our hands are tied, legally speaking.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff to just find here. There's also a lot of talking that can happen, but we're gonna skip most of it because a lot of it's just boring garbage.
Aha. Like, Jesus Christ, kid. Yeah, right? You know, I do like how we just stroll into a school and just like barge into a classroom and we're like, oh no, don't mind me, proceed. No, maybe they're trying to do with the clock, with time, what they're trying to do with the tree, with the ceremony. Like maybe if we spin the clock, that time will just go faster because we're spinning the clock. That's how this works.
It's a solid plan. I think we should give it a try.
Speaking of sensible,
I mean, aren't you in the business of just trying to taste test random bubbling green liquids?
I mean, not anymore we're not, clearly. It seems faintly dickish, but we know that Callus deserves it.
Oh no, he absolutely deserved that. I mean, we're gonna ignore that I got a very good healing item out of it. That was absolutely karmic retribution.
I mean, the healing item was just for entertaining people. We didn't get anything for, like, actually being an enormous idiot and just gulping down unidentified bubbling green liquid. I think this is still balanced. Oh god, there's more?
There is so much more.
There are 5 continents in all, each of them an island nation floating in the sky. The ancient land of Sidal Sud, Diadem, land of the clouds. Our very own Anue Nue, the Rainbow Nation. Mira, City of Illusion. And Althard, Empire of the Flame. All have prospered.
I'll bet the
as
illusion is that the
independent
City of
states,
Illusion doesn't
giving birth
actually
to
exist,
many
it's just an
varied
illusion.
cultures.
Mira is
There were a number of
an
border
interesting
skirmishes
place,
in
that's
years
for sure.
Yet none of them ever led to large-scale.
I
wars
mean,
among
spoilers, we're not going to any of those
Our
places.
forefathers have toiled hard to keep the
shame.
peace that we enjoy today. Let us offer a prayer that this peace should last forever.
Anyway, yeah, we did a bunch of war, but it's all okay now.
Ah, well, you see, we just, because Anue doesn't do the whole war thing. They just put up a big barrier and told the rest of the world to fuck off.
Yeah, it's a classic gambit, but an effective one. I was sure there was going to be a third lesson.
Oh, there is.
Have any of you heard the legend of the ocean?
I mean, I think we have heard this one. I think we can just tell her, like, yeah, we've heard it.
A long time ago, when
There was this
sky
whole
and Earth were
thing,
still apart,
some guy tried to
when the
drink the
5
whole thing
continents were
to
not yet
own
afloat,
somebody, and it
a
kind of
huge
backfired.
block of water called the ocean covered most of the land. Continents at the bottom of the sky, water covering the land. Somewhat hard to imagine, isn't it?
Now this is good though. That was like some writing. Also, I know, like, it's just a thing in this game that we go around finding cards lying around and occasionally pilfering them from people, but, like, the fact that we're going around a school literally stealing cards out of children's lockers just seems pretty comical.
I mean, are you suggesting that we...
Totally in character, yes, but still.
Alright, finally, we can access the palace.
Oh, great. I bet there's not going to be any more lore in here.
I mean, it is very pretty. I will definitely say that. Like, this area in particular, I think, is very, very well done with all, like, the vegetation and everything.
Yeah, the game's got a good color game going on. I don't know how I feel about the birds bouncing all over this place. I guess that's just like a thing with them, but like here I don't get it. It's not even particularly different from anywhere else, but here it just seems somehow more absurd than usual. And I don't know if I'm just imagining that.
Anyway, we're gonna break into the queen's bedroom and steal some of her personal special seeds.
Yeah, we're going to absorb the fundamental essence of the personal seeds into a card. Which I guess makes the seeds stop existing, because how can a thing exist independently of its concept?
May we proceed then, Your Highness?
I agree with your suggestions. Please do.
So like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you know, just casually walking into the throne room.
I welcome
As you do.
to Anuenue. What can I do for you?
We came from Diadem, Your Highness. We bear important news from King Ladakan.
From King Ladakan? What could this be about?
Your Highness, I must ask leave of you.
Please see to it that everything is taken care of.
As you wish, Your Highness. Perhaps there is a clue in the lost chambers of the warlocks of old. We will strive to find something we can begin working on.
I like the implication that this guy, that, like, he's from, like, he's from the magic school, and he's like, yeah, you know, maybe there's a clue in these archives. It would give us something to do.
Now then, tell me
Yeah,
what
maybe we
news
should,
you
like,
bring.
read some of all the books that we have. I feel like I'm just starting to come to the impression
Please
that we
take
might
this letter,
understand a
Your Highness.
little about the world if we learn
This
from
is indeed
the
the
work
royal
that has
crest
come
of
before.
Diadem.
I'm a revolutionary scholar.
The five-end Magnus, sealed away in time.
Also, how
long
is she
past.
getting her cape to do
The
that?
powers of cursed Malpersia,
Corellia's cape
evil god
is
of chaos and destruction.
interesting.
So you believe one of these?
What's
end
even the
Magnus is hid
notional
away
theory here?
somewhere in our lands?
I mean, I know that we're talking about grave matters of, like, national import, but, like, I've got questions.
Without a doubt, Your Highness. We must find the N Magnus before he does.
We have company, I see.
Speaking of grave matters of national import,
Pardon me.
Why does he
I
wobble
did not
when walking?
realize you were in audience with your guests.
Gelbablame's kind of a big guy.
Please join us, Emperor Geldablame.
Maybe he's just, like,
What?
precariously balanced all of those
Gelbblame?
ornaments onto his outfit.
The
Like, look
Emperor
how it
has
moves with him
honored us
breathing.
with a visit. He has been
I think that's
staying in
actually just
Anuenue
floating
for the
behind
past
him.
3 days
Like,
or
I
so.
don't think that's actually attached to anything.
Emperor Geldablame.
I
if
don't know
you
how I feel
please,
about that.
Would you happen to have heard of something called an End Magnus?
And Magnus? I don't believe so. Is it of some special concern to your highness?
It matters not, Emperor.
You liar!
Anyway, it turns out that we came all the way here from Diadem, and we're just going to slander a world leader directly to his face.
Back in Diadem.
Because these boys are very, very smart, very... lot of tact going on here.
We've got a well-developed capacity for perceiving and understanding political machinations. I mean, all of which said, like, is Callus not in any way inclined to just like have a go at the guy? Like, he's right here. I mean, sure, you'll end up like immediately executed for your trouble, but you'll solve a lot of problems in a minimal of time.
I appreciate your concern, but you may stand back.
You know, why aren't we having Liu do the talking here? Isn't this like literally his job?
Envy of libel and slander.
Considering he's the ambassador to Diadem?
I say I am familiar with such outbursts.
Yes, Your Magnificence.
Who exactly are all of you, anyway? If I'm not mistaken...
Oh, right, yeah. That whole bit about how Liu directly interfered with an Imperial mission, and how Zhella, like, literally stole the magic jewelry that opens up the End Magnus from Geldablame. Yeah, maybe this wasn't a great idea.
Little light treason.
This resemblance be coincidental.
So yeah, we did not research this plan at all,
You know, you would think that maybe we might have noticed the big gold ship that was docked up there when we landed. Probably was a giveaway that there was something going on.
Ah, well. Just because we're pragmatic doesn't mean we're smart.
I am here on vacation, a routine break from my grueling duties. Your accusations, I must observe, are devoid of merit.
By the way, Emperor Geldablame, is there something you need of me?
Oh yes, Queen Corellia. I merely intended to bid you farewell. My responsibilities are calling out to me. I must be leaving shortly.
I understand. I do hope you enjoyed your stay.
My sincere thanks for your hospitality.
Well, this was a bust.
My stay here has been fruitful.
Nonsense. I mean, you heard it directly from the man. There's nothing going on. And we've wasted our time. There is nothing to be seen here. He was here on vacation.
I hope to do so.
Why not involved in a plot to awaken evil god shirt is raising a lot of questions.
I will cherish. Farewell, my dear Corellia. I invite you all, too, to visit my empire. You will be most welcome.
I am definitely not going to execute all of you when you cross the border.
Yeah, right? I was gonna say, like, so, like, what now? Are we all gonna get summarily put to death? That seems like it'd be pretty on brand. Man, that guy's hair. Yeah, you're a boss fight. You're gonna be a total dick. Your gimmick is gonna be complete bullshit.
That callous. I never imagined he would be alive. Kill him. Do whatever it takes. If left alone, he will prove a threat to my empire.
Why is Callus such a threat to the Empire?
And what should be done about the
By virtue of being a
beyond this
protagonist.
island?
Like, this guy clearly knows what's up.
Like, I understand.
His magical shield is
Like,
powerful enough to curb any
Like, Gelderblame obviously knows what's going on, and he knows that we're the ones that have been getting the End Magnus. So, like, obviously, like, there is a plan happening here. But, like,
concentrate on eliminating
why does he treat Callus as being such a gigantic threat to it?
No, I just think this guy is particularly genre savvy, although not genre savvy enough to just have the overwhelming number of guards just kill them all right there. It's not like he doesn't obviously have influence here. But I don't know. That would require addressing mechanical things in gameplay, so
Oh, you're right. As soon as he tried, we would, like, whip out our deck, and, like, we'd have an extended card battle, and it would turn out that actually, unfortunately, Gelderblame's class level is not high enough to actually defeat us.
Unfortunately, he's imported the direct rule from the Empire.
Why not, Your Highness?
Rookie mistake.
We, the people of Anuenue, are opposed to any and all forms of strife.
Oh, neutrality!
Yes, anyway, in summary, thanks for the story, but get fucked.
So yeah, like, we acknowledge and understand that our immediate neighbors are committing blatant war crimes and trying to cause the apocalypse, but, like, we're neutral, we can't take a side. Besides, I'm completely ignorant, despite having... Well, I guess we just learned that all of our scholars haven't actually read anything in the archives yet, so I guess it's not too much of a shock that they should be ignorant. I guess that explains why they're having this trouble with the tree. Maybe all this is like in service of a plot twist, where like these guys are actually just idiots and they have no respect for science. Like, maybe that's just the plot.
I mean, this is apparently a very distinguished magic academy, so...
Sing with the celestial tree.
Maybe they just got this way because of status.
Flowers bloom.
Maybe they don't actually have any expertise in anything.
Under the current circumstances, Anuenue cannot make any rash decisions.
I understand.
Please pass my regards to King Ladikon.
Yeah, we're basically fucked. We might as well just stay here and party.
Excuse me, did you say your name was Callus?
Yeah, I know, everybody comments on the pun.
Yeah? Why?
It's nothing important. Take care
Okay,
of
but seriously
yourself.
though, now what?
Well, that's literally the conversation we're about to have.
Good, we are following along. I was beginning to worry.
So, what now?
Going back empty-handed ain't an option.
Yeah, maybe we could find it and then like get it and then actually hang on to it this time, like, you know, for a radical shift of strategy.
It seems likely that one of the End Magnus is indeed here.
Maybe we could find it on our own.
Sounds like a plan.
Or, stay with me, we could be like, this isn't our problem, and we could go home.
Yeah, know when you're beat.
Read my mind. The Queen can't help us, we can't help her. Might as well head back.
Wait a minute! I can't believe I'm hearing this! We can't just sit here and do nothing!
We absolutely can sit here and do nothing.
I mean, we've done exactly what King Ladikon asked us to do. So, what's the problem?
Really. We're just looking for something.
I mean, there's literally a giant party going on. Well, you know, let's go down, have a couple drinks, you know? Get some of those cookies that we blew the guy off on.
But I hear one of the
The
witches
library
has
is
gone under
abandoned.
recently.
I mean, I guess they're not talking about the archive, but I just thought that was immediately a connection. Like, think about it. It would explain a lot
Sounds promising.
if they had all this collected knowledge that was, you know, supposedly the basis of their renowned academy. But actually, it's all just been abandoned and nobody has ever read it.
It's the only
It's
elite
like
in
people who
town.
own huge amounts
Might
of
be a good
books and they
place
can
to
look
start.
smart but never actually read them. Wouldn't that explain a lot?
It definitely would, especially when we see the state of this library next video.
My pleasure.
Oh man. I can't tell if I love or hate this. Oh well. But I see once again our advice to just ditch all this and go home is going to go unheeded, and once again we're going to get dragged along and probably end up accomplishing something.
Yeah, but the question is, will that something that we accomplish, there's a lot of levels to accomplish something here.
I mean, we can accomplish something and then immediately have it arbitrarily unaccomplished. That's always an option. Like, I don't know, maybe we're going to establish a pattern where, like, every time we do a dungeon, we get a new party member, and that new party member always turns out to have been hypnotized to betray us at the last moment, and they'll be like, wow, I'm not going to do that again. And then we just keep getting new party members. I could see that. If I was a game writer, that's totally the kind of trick that I would pull. It would just be a power move. Just like, I dare anybody to complain about this. It's like, there's this whole thing in Final Fantasy VII about how flowers can't grow in Midgar except for in Aerith's church. But her whole house is surrounded by this lush greenery, and nobody ever comments on this. And in the remake, not only did they not fix that, they made her house even more ridiculously verdant, and they even added a quest where you drag flowers from her house to the local orphanage for them to do stuff with. And they still comment constantly about how, oh, only place in the slums where flowers can grow is in this patch in this church. That is a power move.
I'm imagining that a particularly genre-savvy protagonist, like maybe in this case Callus, like eventually just in this scenario just being like, no, I don't need you. Please don't join the party. Please just go. We've got this.
Must shed our share of tears and blood.
Anyway, oops, it turns out that despite the big front she's putting on, that actually her nation is falling apart underneath her. Who would have thought?
Yeah, this is what happens when you try to stay neutral while, like, the actual apocalypse is happening around you. Like, if you'd had this epiphany a couple minutes earlier, you could have just have all of your guys spear the Emperor right there. But no.
But why would we do that when we can have some plucky teenagers do it in, like, 20 hours?
There's only room for one pragmatist in this production.